Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have 6 books to recommend to read during the quarantine, or if you guys have moved out of the quarantine and you just want some fun summer reading, maybe going to the beach or whatever. I think you will really enjoy these recommendations. They are not super mainstream books, like it's not like Where the Crawdads Sing, like I know so many people are reading that now, or like The Hunger Games or Divergent. It's not like that, but some of them are New York Times bestsellers and more well known. If you've never seen any of my videos before, I like making videos on beauty, fashion, lifestyle. I vlog my job, and I also write books, so reading is something I'm super passionate about, and if you have time to read now, I think that's a great activity to do. As always, if you want to read my book that I wrote, which is available on Amazon for 99 cents, it's always linked as the first book in the description box of any of my videos. But let's just go ahead and dive right in. So the first book I have definitely talked about on my channel, and that is Something Borrowed by Emily Giffin. In 2010, it was turned into a movie. The movie definitely is not as good as the book, but it's just about these 2 girls that were best friends their whole lives, Rachel and Darcy. And Rachel is kind of the girl next door. She's like you and I, and Darcy is this super beautiful, lucky girl that always gets everything like somehow handed to her, despite her really not being that intelligent. And there's no exception whenever it comes to marriage. Darcy is engaged to Dex, this gorgeous, nice-looking lawyer guy who's just very smart and well-rounded. But the killer part was Rachel knew him first, and they were friends, and Rachel kind of has some wistfulness about that. And that's really where the story kicks off. Rachel and Dex end up getting together, and the whole story is just totally crazy. It's like Gossip Girl meets a Nicholas Sparks book, meets like The Bachelor, but it's all really well written and it's really entertaining. So if you like romance or chick lit, this is really good. I find myself identifying with Rachel and rooting with her, so it's just a really good story. Another book that I would recommend is a nonfiction book. It's called Perfectly Yourself by Matthew Kelly, Discovering God's Dream for You. And it's all about doing what you were born to do, using your talents and your skills to serve God and serve other people. And by doing that, that will bring you the most rewarding lifestyle. And there are some really great quotes in here about discipline. Matthew Kelly talks about how as a culture, we're so infatuated, like we need our coffee, we need our snacks, and we're always like trying to do that next best thing. And we just don't have the discipline to really commit to the things that will truly bring us joy, will truly bring us success, and help other people along the way. So there are some amazing quotes in here. One of my favorite ones is just do the next right thing and you'll see how uncannily clear the next step will become. Clarity is delivered moment by moment. So he also talks about kind of grounding yourself in the present and doing the next best thing right now to set you up for the future. So it is pretty much psychological as well as faith-based, and I absolutely love it. I've read it twice. A few of my friends have read it. If you're really thinking about achieving a big dream or doing something that maybe not a lot of people do, like for me, writing a book, kind of weird because I live in this finance world and why would I be writing a book? But this story really gave me the faith and direction to go out and actually try to achieve my dreams. If you like sci-fi, you will enjoy The Program by Suzanne Young. It has a little bit of a sensitive topic because it is about this suicide epidemic, this futuristic America where people are kind of infected with suicide and the government is very controlling. And they started something called The Program, which basically erases all of your memories, all of your feelings, and if you show any indication that you might be suicidal, you have to go through the program. And Sloane, the main character, her boyfriend has to go through the program and he doesn't know who she is. And so the story is kind of all about how they rekindle and how they can prevent Sloane from going through the program. So it's really juicy. It's a really quick read. It's a very easy read. I mean, if you can see, the words are really big, and I finished this book in like a few days, but I really was intrigued. It was definitely a page turner, and I really liked it. The next book that I'm going to recommend is actually on my iPad. I've been reading a lot of books on my iPad recently because they're just all available on demand, and that is The Other Wife. This is a psychological thriller. It is about this guy, Joe McLaughlin, who unravels this mystery of how his father was attacked and forced into this coma. His father was kind of everybody's favorite person, seemed like a really great guy, a physician, he had a lot of wealth, and it turns out that he had another wife in addition to Joe's mom, so that was totally crazy. Joe encounters this mistress and has to unravel this mystery. Lots of twists and turns, a little bit unbelievable at times, but it's definitely a page turner and I really liked it. I really liked the author's writing style. I will say there was one inappropriate political comment in this story, in my opinion, and if you read the Amazon reviews, you'll see other people thought that as well. This is another one of my favorite books. This is Zelda by Therese Ann Fowler. And Zelda Fitzgerald was Scott Fitzgerald's wife. Scott Fitzgerald, of course, wrote The Great Gatsby, one of the greatest stories in all of American literature. And so this is a profile of Zelda's life and also kind of a glimpse into the Fitzgerald's lives and other writers he hung out with, like Ernest Hemingway. This is really well written. It's historical fiction, so it's not 100% accurate, but it's juicy and interesting, and I really enjoyed it. Finally, we have Eleanor and Park. This is a classic young adult fiction love story. If you're in the mood for a feel-good love story, I would read this. It is pretty sad though. These two characters, Eleanor and Park, they've been bullied and abused in kind of their own way. They're the misfits and they find each other, and it's like a classic high school love story, but the way it's written is so great. Rainbow Rowell writes with this really sharp voice, and I found it to be really interesting and fast-paced for a YF romance kind of read. Bonus book, Read the Sweep. It's about Felicity Alistair's choice to destroy her government, even though it made her a success. She falls in love with Fitz Murdoch, and they develop a plan to take down the agency, but not so fast because big governments always win. Unfortunately, this is kind of relevant to the pandemic today, so if you aren't interested in reading about how sick people become risk rated and sickness is kind of a risk, that's the whole paradigm of the world, then maybe stay away from it. But if that does intrigue you and you want to see the similarities in a story between our world and something fictional, try it out. I did publish this on November 15th of last year. I started writing this in April of 2018, so it's pretty crazy that some of the predictions in here have actually come true. Well, that wraps up my video. I hope you will subscribe and join me for more of May Madness. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!